Today is Sunday, June 5th, 2022. I'm here at the Giza Pyramids View Guest House. I'll leave a link in the description down below. How I got here and why I'm here makes for an interesting story, and I'd like to share it with you. And this is it. What's up, everybody? Anyextee here. Today we're at the Luxor airport on our way to Cairo. So we have landed here in Cairo. We're at the Cairo International Airport coming in from Luxor. And the reason why we're here is because I have a client, another private client, not one of my major group tours that I operate with ADEPTexpeditions.com, but I also lead private tours for individuals or small groups. And so unexpectedly last minute, I was booked to lead this tour through Luxor to Cairo. And so I've decided to take my family along as well. You see Karina and Trinity in the background. And we're going to be spending the next week or so in Cairo while I lead the tour. And then after that, we'll be flying out to Greece, Italy, and Malta. At least that's a plan. Let's see how it goes. How was your flight, Trinity? Guys taking the stairs. We've got our luggage, and now we're just going to go outside and meet our driver Tariq to bring us to the Pyramid View Guest House, which is where we pretty much always stay when we come to Cairo or Giza. Not on my major group tours. It's always 5-star luxury hotels when we do the major group tours. But when it's just me and my family, we typically stay in the guest house. So let's go find Tariq. Driver from the Pyramid View Guest House. Trinity's sleeping in the back, and Karina's asleep. Everybody's sleeping, I guess. But this is not a video you want to sleep on, because I'm going to make my way to the Giza Plateau today to check out the Sphinx. There was recently a video that surfaced on the internet that is claiming the Sphinx's eyes are closed. So I'm going to go on the ground to check that out in person and update you with that. But before we get there, we're just going to stop at the Pyramid View Guest House. Now this is, again, what I mentioned earlier in the video, where we typically always stay. The reason that I like staying at the Pyramid View Guest House is, one, they have a pyramid view. The view is amazing, but above and beyond everything is excellent service. It's very clean, very high standards. It includes breakfast every morning, and it is very affordable, especially if you're coming through Egypt on a backpacker budget. Let's go. So the Pyramid View Guest House is in the village of Nazat El Samam, which is directly across, or rather in front of the Sphinx at the Giza Plateau. It is about, let's say, about a 8 to 10 minute walk to the Giza Plateau from the guest house, but you could always take a tuk-tuk, which is one of these here, which is sort of like a taxi, if you will, the way we get around here. For the equivalent of just a couple dollars USD, we can find our way from the guest house to the Giza Plateau. Got some watermelon here. Watermelons have just come into season. And so we're gonna go get checked in at the guest house right now. So our first stop is going to be this little stand right here to get some of the French fries. Only 26 cents US for a large fry. So here we are, we just arrived. We're gonna get our bags out now and go up to the Pyramid View Guest House. Looks like a building, is a building, but it has an amazing view of the pyramids. Let's go check it out. So this is what we get here. Family room for less than $30 USD. You have 2 beds, a chair, private restroom, shower, toilet. As you can see, everything is clean. Not bad for just under $30 US. I have a table here that I can do my work from. So this will become my office for the next few days, overlooking the pyramids of Egypt. So there is the Sphinx right there. You can see its little head popping up right above that building in front of the pyramid of Khafra, Khufu, Khafra, and Kare. So, as you can see, the Pyramid View Guest House lives up to its promise with a view of the pyramids right there behind me. We're not that far away. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, when I lead my major group tours through ADEPTexpeditions.com, we stay in 5-star hotels, usually right across the street from the Giza Plateau. Or I'm doing, a private research trip or leading some of these smaller private tours. I am available, by the way, not just for the major group tours, but through Adept Expeditions, you can book me for your own private, individualized, customized tour, whether it's an individual or a small group. I'll be happy to help you. You can contact me through Adept Expeditions. But when I'm leading tours like that, I'll cut back on expenses for myself and stay here at the guest house, which is really a cost-effective way to stay. I always have a great experience. Sometimes I'll stay here for months at a time. Now I'm just waiting for my client to arrive a little later today. We'll begin her tour for the next 4 days here in Giza. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to head over to the Giza Plateau. And the whole reason I'm heading over to the Giza Plateau is because the Sphinx recently went viral. Now, someone supposedly took a photo of the Sphinx with its eyes closed, and the picture made its way onto the internet. So the whole world has been talking about this. It's stirred up quite a bit of controversy here in Egypt. It was first brought to my attention back in mid-May when my friend, fellow colleague, researcher, and author Laird Scranton first brought it to my attention, and more recently, British actress, comedian, and ancient history geek Jahannah James messaged me about what's going on with the eyes of the Sphinx. Given that I'm here on the ground in Egypt, living in Luxor, so now that I'm here doing this private tour for a client, I'm just going to use my downtime to head over to the Giza Plateau and find out what's really going on. Because I seriously doubt that the eyes of the Sphinx are closed. My best educated guess is that it's either a Photoshop job or perhaps more likely just a reflection of the sun going across the eyes of the Sphinx, creating this optical illusion. Rasta, come on. Let's see what we got here.
Everything's alright.
Everything is tamam, alhamdulillah.
Egyptian you are.
Masri.
Yeah, where from?
Luxor.
No way.
Yeah, Bayrat, Esba, Luxor. I live in a village.
Where do you live with?
From America, but I live in
What
Luxor.
about America, man?
Living in Luxor.
Hey, what's up, man?
Ah, what's up? I live in Luxor, but I stay in Giza for a week.
1 week. Say hello to your friend.
You are already saying hello to him. Live on
what's up?
YouTube.
Okay, my friend. What you looking for right now?
I'm just walking over the Giza Plateau.
Okay, my friend.
I'll see you, inshallah.
Inshallah. Have a nice time.
You too. Always an adventure on the streets of Egypt. You never know who you're gonna run into or what interactions you're gonna have. So we're just gonna continue on our way here to the Giza Plateau, which, one more time, it's about a 5, 8, 10-minute walk at the most. I walk pretty fast, so it takes me all of about 5 minutes. We could get there in probably 2 minutes if we take a tuk-tuk, but I'm just walking along for the adventure, immersing myself in the culture a bit so you can get a broader sense of what it's like in Egypt, behind the scenes, in the village. This isn't the stuff you typically see in videos where you're watching the temples and the pyramids and exploration of ancient sites. This is in the back streets of Nazat El Saman in the village. Hello, Zayek. As you can see, most of the local Egyptians here in Giza are very friendly. So you can see the pyramids in the distance just over there, right down the street here. We're about a couple of minutes away. So you can see the pyramid at the end of the street here. So again, personally, I don't believe that the eyes of the Sphinx are going to be closed when we arrive. In fact, I know they're not going to be closed because I've already called one of my Galabeya guys at the Giza Plateau and asked him to take a look for me, and they appeared to be open when he looked at it to verify for me. But I need to go and verify for myself in person, and I want to bring you guys along for the journey so that you can see this for yourselves. And this is really an important exercise, you know, because there's all sorts of stuff that comes out online on the internet, and you really shouldn't take everything at surface or face value. You have to go and verify for yourselves, or if it's something that's being claimed, you have to do the research and look at the sources. You can't just believe what you're being told, because there are many people out there that will say things for all sorts of reasons, for clickbait, to drive traffic to a channel or website or an image, you know. And not that there's anything wrong with clickbait, because truth be told, my titles are clickbaity, my thumbnails are clickbaity. I'm not a big fan of red arrows. I think it's a horrible aesthetic, but I know that it works, and that's how I'm getting eyeballs on my videos. And so you have to apply these marketing tactics in order to get people to the right message. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of YouTube subscribers, but I do have a whole lot of experience, years of experience, as someone who is mentored under the late great symbolist author, rogue Egyptologist John Anthony West, who was really the only show in town at a time doing these sort of unique tours through Egypt that have become really popular now. Not your average spectator tours, but more in-depth symbolist study trips, like the tours I lead through ADEPT expeditions as we continue on with the tradition. And so I have a lot of unique experience and years of travel and research to share with everyone. But for whatever reason, my YouTube channel doesn't get a whole lot of attention. There's a lot of people out there that don't have perhaps the same depth of knowledge or experience that get a lot more views. And that's just how it goes. And that's why I could use your help to share the channel, because I am bringing you a lot of rarely seen sites. There's a lot of stuff on the channel here that you're not going to find anywhere else, in addition to my own unique insights and journeys like these, where I'm going to be here on the ground taking you up close in person to see what's really going on. This way we can rule out the hearsay, we can rule out the rumor mill, and we can rule out all the BS that you find online. Because there's a lot of it, especially in the alternative space.
Hello.
Masri.
Hello, Masri.
Hello.
Hello.
Tamam?
Tamam.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
It's good. And now you can see we're much closer to the pyramid, which means we are much closer to the Sphinx. And in a few short moments here, I'm going to be able to take a closer look and see what's going on with the eyes of the Sphinx. Looking at all the trash around the streets of Giza here, which is a bit of a problem throughout much of Egypt. Sometimes you just have to close your eyes and be thankful for what you have and where you are. Hello.
How are you?
Tamam, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, you live here?
Yes.
Oh.
Bayrat, Luxor. So I'm now entering the Giza Plateau from the second entrance here, which is over here in the village of Nazat El Samam, just across the way over here. We're going to go to the ticket booth and get our tickets. There's another entrance on the other side that most tour groups, major tour groups and the buses use. And actually all these things, from what I understand, are going to be consolidated into one entrance in the near future, as there's going to be some radical changes taking place at Giza. The camel guys are going to be pushed back to the panoramic view area. There's only going to be one way to enter Giza. And I think eventually they want to run some sort of cable car from the museum, the Grand Egyptian Museum, to the Giza Plateau, which makes it sort of like an amusement park. I don't know if I'm really feeling that, but it should be interesting to see the changes. One of my favorite places to eat right here at Abu Ali. This is my guy Ahmed at Abu Ali right here. When you're in Nazat El Samam and you're hungry, you go visit the Sphinx, you come see Ahmed right here at Abu Ali. This is where you want to get your food. Take it from Anyextee. So Abu Ali is located right over here in the village of Nazat El Samam, and right over here is where you go to the Sphinx to get your tickets for the Sphinx. I'm gonna walk over there now, get the ticket, and get a closer look at the Sphinx to see what everyone's talking about in terms of the eyes being closed. You see ticket prices. The general visitor is 240 Egyptian or 120 for a student. We're gonna get our tickets and go inside. So this is new. To my surprise, this barricade is brand new. It's probably only been put up in the last month or so. I haven't seen this before. Oh, some sort of platform. So as you can see, there's some sort of event taking place here. This is unusual. They have this whole platform set up right here in front of the Sphinx. We're gonna go get a closer look. So here it is. We'll go get a closer look from the side profile. So you can make out the eyes right. So you can make out the eyes right there. So not sure again what this is all about, but this is Anyextee and this is the Sphinx, and I'm back here at Giza today, and you can see in the distance that the eyes of the Sphinx are wide open. So we can put to rest all of these conspiracy theories, Photoshop jobs, or perhaps an optical illusion. I don't know what happened or why the photo looks the way it does, but certainly you can see that the eyes of the Sphinx are still wide open. Here's another view here from an angle. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see the eyes are still wide open, with pigeons lurking just below the brow there. This is actually one of the best places to take a photograph or a selfie with the Sphinx, which you want to do. We're right at the Khafra Valley Temple, so you would just come over here like this and stick your mobile device, a camera, through the gate to get this photo. This is the Sphinx Temple and the Khafra Valley Temple, which I'll take you through right now so that we can go get a side profile view of the Sphinx.
Take your time, brother.
Shokran.
One second.
Tamam. Alhamdulillah. Shwaya. Arabi Shwaya. Ana Mama Kalin Arabi. English. American. Look. Yeah. Shokran. This is where they found the statue of Khafra. And this is a megalithic mystery in and of itself, but this is not the point of this video. So you can see the inverse coins over here, but this isn't why we're here today. This will be the subject for another video. The reason why we're here today is right up here so that we can take a look at the Sphinx. Hello. And this is the famous selfie spot for the Sphinx where everyone lines up to get their photos. They've got some lights down here in the enclosure. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit. So as you can see, the eyes are clearly wide open. In fact, you have pigeons sitting on the bottom lid there. So it's safe to say this myth has been debunked from on the ground by Anyextee. So, I guess the moral of the story here is to dream with your eyes closed, but live with your eyes wide open. This is Anyextee, living in Luxor vlog series here in Giza, taking a look at the Sphinx today, just to get on the ground to debunk this idea that the eyes of the Sphinx have closed. One more view from this perspective, and as you guys can see, the eyes are wide open. You can even make out the pupils, where the pupils are carved. So what happened, again, we don't know with certainty. It could be a Photoshop job, it could be an optical illusion, but one thing is certain, aside from the fact that this camel is very, very noisy, one thing is certain, and that is that today, on this date, the eyes of the Sphinx are in fact wide open. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing for more videos like this. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, leave a comment below, and be sure to check out the playlist that I have here on this channel dedicated to the Sphinx. I have an entire hour-long documentary on the Sphinx Explained, the hidden entrances, identity, and origins of the Sphinx, all covered in this video. Ancient architects said it was the best investigation into the Sphinx on YouTube. Be sure to check it out on the Sphinx playlist. I have many other videos on the Sphinx going in depth here on this YouTube channel. Peace out, everybody.